Work session meeting of September 6th to order. We do have a quorum, public forum. Individuals may address the city council about items not included or included on the agenda. Speakers are requested to required to state their name and address for council records and limit the remarks to 3 minutes or less. Speakers are requested to frame their comments around items that fall within the authority of the city council. Generally, the city council will not take official action on the items discussed at this time, but may place the item on file, take the matter under advisement, refer the matter to staff or committee for future report, or direct the matter to be placed on the upcoming agenda. Anyone wish to speak? Anyone wish to speak? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to regular council information items only. Excess grading material. Greg?
Approached by the school district in regards to excess embankment, specifically at the old 371 bypass flyover down here. The school district is looking at doing improvements to the Belprairie complex. They're looking at putting baseball fields up in that area, so they need some additional fill in order to bring it up to grade so that it's drained properly once the ball fields are implemented. And so they've been reaching out just to see if anybody has material available. And the first area I thought of was that area north of town where that 371 flyover is located. Now we don't own all of that property. Part of it, if you recall, MnDOT did retain ownership in the bulk of that amount. We did some calculations to see how much material we have available up there that we wouldn't necessarily need. And it's right around the 20,000 yard mark, and they're asking for 10,000 yards. So I just wanted to get a feel from the council's perspective if this is something that they will be looking at, be interested in doing. Obviously, we've got to work with Tony to see if it is allowed and what the proper process will be to donate those to the school. But I just wanted to open it up for discussion and kind of get the feedback from the council for this type of project.
Mr. President, I think the council had expressed interest in helping any way we could with limiting the financial part of it. So to me, this is a way where we can take part in that project and improvement in the community that'd be very beneficial for kids without a large financial donation.
Mr. President, my only concern is that arc area out there isn't the most level thing. It looks like if we do any future planning in there, we might need to fill ourselves. I mean, I hate to be greedy, but it would be good to do something for a school, but we should look at what we're going to need out there if we have to do some improvements in the arc area.
And I did look at that area to see what the grading would look like right now. What MnDOT has done in there for the 371 when it was a highway. Essentially, they brought material in to build them up, and they've done some ditches. So we'd be looking at one, filling in those ditches, and two, cutting out the mound that they brought material up into there, so better match the surrounding area. So that would be 20,000 yards of extra material that would not be for those particular purposes.
Is it part of what they do, level off, so how much to go to that? That part's not on.
We could discuss that, yeah.
Any other concerns? So we don't know if this is something we can legally even do as far as donation.
We will work with Tony and make sure all the steps are completed so that it is done properly. But before we went through it, that little spot afterwards, but I wanted to make sure that the council is aware of something like this.
I think if everything goes well for the arc area, we have access, and Tony comes back and says it's legal, personally I see no problem with donating that to the school district to get that field straight.
I know they're looking for volunteers. They're trying to do, as you know, Greg, a lot of that on volunteer work. They're looking for volunteers to haul it and volunteers to grade. I know they've got a lot of companies that are donating the time, but they're also are trying to work something with Camp Ripley out. So Rusky's working really hard at that.
They're looking for 10,000 yards, half of which realistically there.
What about if you start that? Is it worth the effort to try to get with somebody at the state to continue getting rid of the mound? I mean, how much more is there?
Well, there's quite a bit more than the 20,000 yards. I reached out to the state just to see what their perspective is on it. They're okay with getting rid of the mound that's on the east side of the road, where they kind of blasted through the ground for their new building. But the west side, for whatever reason, they want to keep that mound. They think there's some value in that material.
To me, it would look better if they played along too. I mean, then there'd be
Level ground.
more available.
Yeah. The local folks are receptive to that in terms of like the maintenance guys. But once you start getting a little bit higher up, they see some value in that dirt, and I don't know what it is, but the metal stuff like that doesn't want to get rid of.
Well, it's close if they got to buy it or crush it if they're doing a construction. It's state, right?
Yeah.
So what are they going to need for fill or whatever, even when they come through, if they do 27 or?
It's sand, but I don't think they'll use it for the 27 project. I'm not doubtful.
It's all sand all the way down?
I believe it's sand on the west side, yeah. From the stories that I've heard, the west side is sand that was taken from Barlowpit north of there, west of the old 371 area. The east side where they have their building, that was taken from just south of where our new tower is over by the Walmart site. That's why there's a difference in material. One side has a lot of clay content, the other side is more of a sand material. Those are the two different borrowers that was pulled from when they built that.
They're going to put
That
that
entire
salt sand
building
shed.
was not donated to the city.
Correct.
How much of it do we have? Do we have half of it on the west side?
About half, yes.
Now, is there value in developing that into a sliding hill for the winter?
The golf course? Isn't that where they go sledding?
That's where we're flooding right now.
That's one place, yes. Another place you notice they're parked along the highway there on on First Street on Maple Island Park. And that gets to be somewhat congested in that area with several cars, little kids, sleds, all this kind of stuff. That would be out of the way, and it might be a nicer hill.
That area that they go sledding on actually is not our property. If you look on the screen. Here's Hagen Road, the old Route 71, this is the old flyover. They go sledding down this chunk, which MidDOT currently owns. They own up to this point right here, which is in between two bus garages, and then we own everything north of that. So this is the area that we would be looking at taking the excess material from. MidDOT, which has this property, sees the value in it. I'm not sure what for, but this is where they go sledding. It's a higher hill. The stuff up here that we own, it goes from 38 down to 22, about 16 feet. But this is quite a bit higher, and for the kids, sledding can go along. Not that way on that one.
There's quite a few kids that slide on there. I mean, that's right out where I live, and when it's good sliding, there's a lot of kids slide down. But it's closer over here, right in there, right? Because that is steeper.
Yeah.
Get back farther than
Tapers off.
tapers out.
They also slide east of St. Otto's. It's kind of dangerous back there, but it's a lot of kids.
Yeah, they used to slide down there and come right towards Haven, but now somebody got after them, worried they might slide right out onto Haven and the car's coming or something, you know.
Well, that's not even our property, so I guess we ain't gotta worry about if they're gonna slide on it or not. So it's if we're willing to donate or not on the dirt. It's a big question. If we have any issues, we'll have Tony work on it, bring it back. preliminary budget work session. John?
Yeah, we've been working on the budget the last couple months, getting things pretty well prepared. I'd like to do a work session to do a preliminary budget discussion just for the general fund because we need to set the preliminary levy by the 30th of September, so it's at the next regular council meeting. This would just be a working session to talk about any items and what would be going into that preliminary budget. As you know, or might be aware, once the preliminary budget is set, you can't raise that in proportion to what you're going to tax for property tax levy for next year. So you can go down from that number, but you can't go up. So the state has moved it. It used to be a September 15th deadline, but they have moved it back a little bit to the end of the month on the 30th. So we do have a little bit of time yet, but I like having a work session on it. Otherwise, it can tend to get a little bit long in discussion during an actual council meeting. When these are just preliminary numbers that we're working with, we got 3 months left in the budget year, and there's a few more things that could change in terms of impacting the budget in a significant way. There's likely not, we likely are not going to see a special session, so the LGA impact to us, what was passed in the House and Senate, but vetoed by the governor, we would have seen a $95,000 increase to our LGA funds. Next year, we're just seeing a modest, less than $1,000 increase. So that's a kind of a negative impact to us, but it is something that impacts what that final levy figure is going to be. So, are there some dates next week that don't work? I think the initial thought was to do just kind of 5:30 on Monday prior to the Planning Commission meeting. Mondays tend to be a better day.
There's an HRA meeting, but I think generally they're over by 5.
Yeah, and we keep the discussion under the hours, so we wouldn't have to be moving back and forth between the planning commission meeting and that. So,
We're looking at 5 or 5:30.
So that would be Monday the 19th.
no, Monday the 12th would be the work session. Yeah.
5:30, unless we do it the 19th beforehand. I got another meeting on the 12th next week that just came up too, so I don't, but either way.
Or else is there another day of the week next week that can also work real easy?
I like Monday because it's one more later in May.
Time to the meeting.
5 to 5:30.
I'll swing an item.
That don't make no difference.
Yeah, I believe we've gotten, as of last week, we've gotten all of our requests returned to us from other agencies that we fund. All of the departmental worksheets have been turned in, so we have a lot of the information that we needed to take care of this. We have gotten our health insurance renewal information back, but there's some other discussion that I'd like to have during that meeting in terms of how we move forward in negotiations with all the unions for next year. Because we have the pay equity studies complete, we have opportunity to renegotiate every contract. All the contracts are up after the end of this year. So ideally, as we've discussed and talked about, we want to move everyone to one pay schedule so it's uniform throughout all of the bargaining units, because that's what the pay equity study told us. These are the points that are equate to those positions so that it's equal amongst all the different departments. So those are kind of the two biggest things that I want to talk about.
So 5:30 to 6:30?
Yeah.
Monday the 12th. That's fine.
As a conflict.
That's fine with me.
Okay. We'll post that as the budget work session. And we'll just meet right here.
We have enough time to post it yet, right? We don't need to adjourn to it? 3 days, you right? Anything else on that one? You're good.
That will be all.
Website update?
Yep. We got our, soft launch back on the website. We're setting up a administrative training for all the staff that will be involved in updating the website. I want to say that I think it looks very good. There's a lot of discussion back and forth in the development stage. I think they've done a good job at capturing the things that we're expecting out of the website. Easy to access search bars. There's a lot of good big button tools, easy to find things as you need them, and you can search within the website to find the stuff that isn't readily right there. So it does. I think they've done a great job. The biggest things that I think are needed, one is more content, especially photo content, because the web page itself. Actually, I can pull it up on here. The web page itself has a scrolling photo bar right in the main page. As a scrolling photo slide right on the main page. And so there's 4 or 5 photos that will be scrolling on that first homepage of the website all the time. And what I would like to see is all of that content become seasonal, so that they're reflecting kind of the time of the year where the photos are taking place from season to winter. So.
Stop it.
Well, I'm going to get them in updating this probably.
So the staff should be able to update. There it is. Staff will be able to update these photos every week. But one of the things that I'd like to see is that the public give us. And a lot of these photos are just stock photos that they had of the area, just to get something on there and get some content up. But what I'd like to see is the public to be able to submit photos to us. But there is a kind of a catch to that. We do need higher res photos, higher resolution. They have to be, from a better than, an old iPhone. Photo can't just be, film photo. It's got to be something that's high resolution digital photo, because we have to shape it to fit that box, and if it's not the right resolution, then things won't look very good. So right now you're just seeing a few that they put in there. So I think if we could get about 200 photos submitted from the public, that would go a long ways to having that weekly kind of transition throughout the season, so that we could get our website populated. And I think asking the public to do that really gives them a sense that they can have an impact on our website as well. So I already know there's a few people out there that kind of pass this idea about, and they have really good photos that they'd love to share as well. So the other side of it, this is where I bring it to the council for their input, is I thought because we did have pretty good cost savings in utilizing Golden Shovel to do our website development, I think we'd have an opportunity to say we could, of the 200 photos that we select in a month-long photo contest, we could compensate people for those. Like, I was thinking even $5 a photo if yours gets selected. So we could just have a selection committee that could go through after a month of the submission period and just pick from their favorites. I have a means that I could do it utilizing like a Flickr page or photo sharing page. I would make improvements to do.
Pretty anonymous, then you want to know.
Yep.
As far as
we would keep that anonymous in terms of who sent in the content, and keep those files and those submitters separate, so that once those are selected, then we would be able to kind of distribute that. So I thought it was a neat thing to kind of get the input, and doesn't have to end after 1 month. I mean, that could just be the contest portion. People could continue to submit to the same Dropbox or place where we direct them to send those photos to. Those could go onto the website at a later time. So, what you'll see is like, okay, so there's a really good winterscape of the dam or something within Little Falls. That photo is going to get saved until the winter time to be utilized, or there's something really nice about fall colors that's going to be utilized in the fall. So some of them may not show up right away, but we definitely have could even put on the website somewhere where we show all the photos that are going to be used in this scrolling bar. And you may notice as well this background photo, if I can get the kind of see there, is actually a background photo of the dam. On other pages, it shows up a little better. So there's other opportunities for us to see kind of you can kind of see it through that. There's other opportunity. If there's a really good photo and it works in terms of the size, we can use it in other fashions, like as a background as well. So.
John, we had talked in agenda planning that it would be nice to have some, historic sites and some of those things running through there also, so we bring people that just happen to go to that, they don't have to look for historic places, they'll be seeing them right away, so.
So, and we also have a means to I know there was on the previous website, they had this video tours done in Little Falls. I don't know if it was a firm that was hired by the city or the Convention Visitors Bureau, but they went around and did a 3-minute history of some historic sites. We have links to all those on their YouTube page. The way the site was created and the way they had it embedded on their old page doesn't really work today in the way Golden Shovel did. But we can embed YouTube videos on here. So there's even means for us to kind of embed other videos or other media styles onto our page to kind of make them readily available for people to see. So,
John, will we have links to the schools, to community development?
Yeah, right at the bottom, actually, and this is something that Golden Shovel kind of highlights a lot, are these community partners, and they are the ones that put a lot of these in place. But this is just a scrolling bar of those community partners that they thought were important to have built in right away. And this is something that we can add and develop too.
So you can just click on that and it'll take you to their website?
It'll take you to the website of the other organizations.
Were we able to tie
Or
online bill pay
within
into that?
or actually, these are links within within our own web page, but from there should be a link to the other site.
Right there, there's a website.
And this is a soft launch, so they may not have everything done, but this one does work. So yeah, it was 2 clicks, but we got to the Chambers page.
Perfect.
Could you put something in there where people could report if lights are out on the street?
That's one of the things that we have built in, and we just need to develop it a little bit more. But this comments and suggestions and or public submission button that we're going to add on there, this have an issue will be the public submission button. But right here, you'll get to a contact form, and what we'll do is we'll develop a list of contacts for general sort of problems. So like, instead of just an email address or a name, like right now my name's on there because I'm the only listed link, but we'll set up a department email, so like street problems or street light, anything that's associated with that. They'll click on that, then put in their information and the designation of the problem, and they'll be able to inform us of something that's wrong or something they want to see fixed. So this just needs to be developed yet. So what's the opinion of the photo contest? Is it something that we're
that be open to residents only? You know, we had discussed that, or would
Yeah,
we be able to?
it certainly needs to be a photo that we can ensure is, or verify that it's part of our community. It's not something that we want these really awesome, photos of us shot from space or the International Space Station or something. It would be really cool to have on the website, but it's probably not something that's conducive. So I would encourage it to be people of the area. I would have a hard time, I guess, limiting it just to only city residents. Maybe there's some really good photographers that live right out in the country and take some really awesome shots. And we're more than just, our own city limits. We're kind of the hub of the area too. So there might be something else that is right on the edge of the city.
There's a way to scrutinize if these are authentic. You need to do that because I had a photography class. I taught for years. It wasn't uncommon for a kid to turn in something they found on the web.
Yeah, and
That's their own.
Yeah, and anything that we get, the caveat is that it becomes ours to use as we need it to be used. They won't retain the rights for us to use it, or that we have to compensate them every single time that we use it. If they're going to participate in the contest, they're going to give us that opportunity to use the photos. So
you'll let them photo tag them?
those professional photographers that have a really great photo, they may not want to submit it because it's something that they want to retain the rights to as intellectual property. So
we can let them put their badge on it?
So I would have a means to credit the photo, so we'd be able to add that photo credentials that submitted by that person.
I like the idea because I think it could generate some interest where little Sunny Boys get this picture on there, and Grandma and Grandpa will go on and they'll familiarize people with our website potentially.
Yeah, back in in Madison, our actual water conservation, water and soil conservation district did this for a calendar and had a photo contest for people to submit it, and they put the top 12 photos in the calendar. So I thought it was really neat, and it gave some pride for those ones that got selected and got recognition for it. So I'd rather do this and spend $1,000 getting public to submit the photos than go spend $1,000 on a photographer to take some really good quality photos and come too. So might not get 200 out of $1,000 for a photographer these days.
I'm pretty sure not.
I don't know. I got married 4 years ago, and it was pretty expensive. We had a great deal because it was a family friend. So
I'm all for it.
great. We'll look for that when we look for more details on the contest at a later meeting, and then once we get the administrative training set up, we'll have more information on how those can be submitted and what the selection criteria are.
Anything under other? No one? We'll adjourn to 7:30 to the regular meeting.